Hello and welcome to Velocity Viewpoint Live. My name is Michael DeGeeter. I am your host, coming to you from Chicago, Illinois, bringing you the hottest topics in cloud, digital transformation, IT, security, ERP, CRM, Microsoft, and so much more. Before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe wherever those buttons are on YouTube Live or LinkedIn Live to get updates and notifications to all things Velocio, but also to get notified when we go live during our weekly live chats here on LinkedIn and YouTube. We also encourage your engagement with us. Type a question to the comment section. We'll try to get to it during our live Q&A today. Now, joining us today is Paul Taylor, Warehousing and Distribution Specialist here on our Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain team. We're going to be talking about maximizing efficiency in warehouse receiving with Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. Hello, Paul. How are you? Thanks for joining.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, well, we're excited to talk a little bit about warehouse receiving here in D365 SCM. I'm going to kick it off with our first question here. Let's just talk about some of the options for receiving in D365 supply chain management.
Yeah, sounds good. So, yeah, receiving is an important topic. I mean, really important to inventory accuracy. I look at it, it's the first line of defense to make sure your inventory is correct. Now, that's when it's coming in the door. There's really three main areas for receiving that I typically work with. So, purchase order receiving, transfer order receiving, and return order receipts. Those are going to be your three primary types of orders that are coming in the door. And there's different methods to receive those. So this is the nice part about warehouse management in D365. It's kind of like an open canvas. There's different ways to do it. So we can receive by item, one item at a time. We can receive by line and receive, different lines and specify the line number. We can receive by license plate or by mixed license plates. We can do receipts in, put away at the same time or separately. We can receive to a cluster, which is basically a cart. So I'm loading up the cart during receiving. I can put that away later. We can even do deferred receiving, which is asynchronous receipts. So if you got something that takes a long time to create put away, you can do asynchronous receipts. And you can also do load item receiving. So those are some
Paul,
different options.
Yeah, and so with all those different options, what would you recommend as one over the other?
Yeah, best answer here, it depends. Highly dependent on the use case. I like to always start with an item receipt by item. That's a popular one. With transfer orders, you're going to receive those typically by license plate receiving. And the idea there is you're shipping out, you're kind of scanning everything out of one warehouse and you're putting that onto a license plate. So when it shows up at the other side, you can just receive it by license plate. But it depends. If you're putting away by carts, then we would use the cluster, sort cluster receiving. So a lot of different options to consider.
Yeah. One question we get a lot, can the system handle ASN receipts?
Yeah, it can. So we can import the advanced ship notifications. We can bring those in. That's usually like an EDI provider is involved to get that ASN imported, but we can bring that in. There's a standard XML format, and basically what that does is it associates the license plates to the items that are coming in, and that really streamlines the receiving because you can receive by license plate based on that ASN. So if you got a really strong relationship with your vendors, they send you ASNs, yes, we can receive based off that ASN.
Okay. So can you receive multiple orders onto a single license plate?
You can receive multiple purchase orders onto a single license plate using the mixed license plate receiving option. So you can build up your license plates during receiving using that method.
Yeah. Can the system print labels at the time of receiving?
It can. So that's an important time to print labels. So the system's really flexible as far as printing labels. So we're talking about barcode labels that print, at time of receiving, typically to like zebra label printers. So we can design those labels. Typically it's got item, description, you know, those different barcodes, maybe batch or serial number, maybe PO number. Sometimes I see quantity on those labels. We can design those and print them at time of receipt. We can also connect to a software called Bartender, kind of a funny name of software, but enterprise label printing software. It's very common. Um, and Nice Label. So Microsoft Dynamics has built-in integrations with both of those systems. There's also a framework to connect to other systems as well, other label printing systems. Um, One thing I have seen with label printing, I actually saw it on Yammer today. So, Microsoft has this community out there where people are asking questions all the time on Yammer.
Yeah.
Somebody just today was asking a question around label printing, and one of the gaps there is the system does not ask you for the number of labels to print and the quantity per label. Somebody was asking if they could do that, and I chimed in. So no, you can't do that out of the box, but I've done that as a mod before. So D365 has a lot of features. Sometimes you run into things like that requires some kind of customization.
Yeah.
The software is easy to customize as well.
I've got an audience question for you, if you don't mind. Does Dynamics 365 supply chain management come with its own EDI module, or is that a third-party integration?
Yeah, that's going to be a third party.
Mhm.
There's several of them out on Microsoft App Source. So certified, solutions that work with D365, built right inside of D365. I've
Mhm.
worked with a couple of those providers in the past, but they're great at what they do as far as all the EDI mappings and everything. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah,
And when you go through App Source, you really know that it's something that's been vetted and, Microsoft approved, which is always good to have. So definitely a good
yeah,
place to check
absolutely.
that out. Well, Paul, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thanks for joining me here on our Viewpoint Live to talk a little bit more about Dynamics 365 supply chain management. We hope to have you back in the future. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much.